come to a comfortable standing position. Feeling your feet on the earth. And imagining you're standing on the ocean floor. Your feet sinking into the sand. Feeling your shoulders relax. Your hips. Feeling that kind of weightlessness of being submerged in the water. And we'll float our hands up, palms facing down, about the height of the lower dantian, the lower abdomen. And perhaps close your eyes for a moment. Just pause in this standing posture. The emotion associated with the water element is fear. Which is a very primal emotion that serves an evolutionary purpose, and yet it can be an unnecessarily disruptive emotion to us. It can become a kind of hyper vigilance or a debilitating fear of death, disaster. Or it can be something we are so afraid to face, we ignore it. So take a moment to just acknowledge our relationship to fear. And if it's causing us any tension, allow that tension to be washed away, released into the ocean. Not necessarily like we're trying to erase our fear or get rid of fear entirely. But maybe to just give it more space, a bigger container than our bodies. We don't need to hold all that tension, all that fear. hands when you're ready to rest over the lower dantian. This space is associated strongly with the water element. And our deep will to persevere, to survive. And then we'll bring our hands apart, palms facing each other in front of the lower dantian. And start to breathe in, letting the hands float out to the sides, and breathe out, letting them float back in. Continuing at your own pace. Gathering chi to the lower dantian. Maybe feeling like your whole body is one big lung, opening up as you breathe in, expanding and contracting a little bit as you breathe out. Breathing out, releasing any tension, any unnecessary fear. One more cycle of breaths. And then lay your hands back over the lower dantian. Bringing that chi in, maybe circling your hands. All right. Let's do a little sound healing for the kidneys. So we'll come into a wider stance, palms facing out to the sides, and we're going to sink down as we push the hands out and pulse this twice. And then after that, if it works for you, you're going to jump and push both hands out to the sides fully. And then the sound that goes with this is hey. And the sound comes from as deep within you as you can muster, sending a vibration up from the lower body. So this is a healing sound for the kidneys. And when we do the first pulsing motion, we're going to draw the sound out like this. Hey. And then as we jump and push the hands out, we'll shout it out like this. Hey! So we're doing this as loudly as we can. We'll do it 3 times through. Hey! Hey! And again. Hey! Hey! And one more time. Give it all you got. Hey! Hey! All right. And let's dump the trash, lifting the hands up overhead, coming up off of the heels, and drop the hands and the heels, sinking down through the hips so that the knees naturally bend. Keeping the back tall. Letting the hands drop like you're letting go of heavy buckets of water. One more time. Great. And then we'll come to a wider stance and swing the arms again as dead weight, side to side. Hands landing against the body. Heavy, sending a vibration. You can work your way up and down the back, aiming for those muscles alongside the spine. And if anywhere feels stiff or tender, tense, you can linger there to help disperse that tension, wake up the channels. And let the arms swing to stillness. And making loose fists in front of the chest. Bring them up over alongside the head as we open up the chest, perhaps slightly back bending if you don't have any low back issues. And then forward fold, rounding the arms in towards the torso, opening up the upper back now. And we'll continue cycling through that, opening up the upper body. So oftentimes a deficient kidney energy or imbalanced water within us has an effect on our heart. And in Chinese medicine, the heart is seen as the seat of the mind. So our mental health, our emotional health, heart can play a strong role in that. So sometimes when there's not enough kidney qi to kind of nourish, cool, and calm the heart can become deficient itself and manifest as anxiety, restlessness, trouble falling asleep, sometimes trouble with short-term memory, trouble focusing. So we'll work in this practice to help that connection between the heart and the kidneys. Very special connection between those two. The kidneys being the source of our deep will, our will to survive, and the heart being the seat of our mind. So together it's kind of like this will to manifest who you truly are, to have the courage to be who you are. And after this next cycle, you can come to standing, the arms at the sides. And then we'll turn the palms so they're facing out. And then, like they're just floating, let them rise up. All the way overhead. And then turning the hands face down. Slowly let the hands sink, clearing out any tension. We'll do Tai Chi begin, so letting the arms float up to about shoulder height, and then sinking the hips down so the knees bend a little bit as the arms sink. Floating back up. Keeping a generous bend in the elbows so as not to engage the shoulders. In fact, you might even think of sinking the shoulders down even as your arms float up. Like your arms are being buoyed by an ocean wave. A very slow ocean wave. And then falling. sink all the way down. And we'll come to a wider stance with the feet parallel if possible. You can have the toes turned out a little bit if need be. And then we're going to sink down, opening the hips, opening the knees, letting the tailbone be heavy so that the low back isn't flaring out, but is more flat. So not straining to tuck the tailbone and just letting it, just like let gravity almost just anchor it down. The knees should not be any further than over the toes. So again, if you need to turn your toes out a little bit in this stance, that's fine. And then bring the hands to the tops of the thighs, kind of bracing the thighs. And then we're going to turn the head to one side and sweep down, keeping the back fairly flat. And then we'll come back up with the head turned in the other direction. So from the side, it looks kind of like this. So we start with the back tall, head turned one way, and then as we sweep across, our face will be facing down, and then as we come up the other side, we'll be facing the opposite way, coming all the way up and then back down. Okay. And then we'll add a little breath to this. So as we come down, we're going to breathe out the mouth, making kind of hissing the back of the throat. And then as we come up, we'll breathe in through the nose. Going at your own pace. Releasing any tension as you exhale, any anxiety. Breathing in the nourishing, calming energy of the kidneys. And then we'll add a little variation to this. So when you come to center, we'll come up through center and then turn the head to the opposite side and continue breathing out through the mouth and then breathing in through the nose as you come up through center. Turn the other way and sweep down. Coming up through center, turn, sweep down, breathing out through the mouth. Going at your own pace. Coming to standing with the feet together. hands out to the sides. And again, imagining they're floating up through the air or through water. Clearing out any lingering fear, anxiety, tension. And we'll bring the hands to form a ball. One hand at the level of the heart center or middle dantian, one hand at the lower abdomen or lower dantian, and then reach the top hand skyward, palm facing up, bottom hand toward the earth, palm facing down, stretching through the side body. And we'll form that ball again. Reverse. Stretching on the other side. Couple more times on each side. After you form the ball again, we'll turn to one side, both hands sweeping from bottom to top, so that the hands end up facing both skyward, fingers turned in towards each other, and then we'll face forward, now turning the palms in to face yourself, and perhaps close your eyes as you let your hands sink down, feeling yourself relax as your hands pass over you. Ending with hands facing down towards the feet, towards kidney 1, the point that roots us to the earth. And then when you're ready, we'll turn to the other side, hands coming overhead. Forward. And again, you can close your eyes, perhaps saying to yourself the part of Dr. Wu's mantra, I am water flow. Maybe imagining you are a body of water. And we'll do this a couple more times, once on each side, at your own pace, using this mantra. Once you complete the last round, you can let your hands come back to that original position with the palms facing down, that standing posture from the beginning of class. Again, imagining you're standing in the ocean, held by the ocean. The virtues associated with the water element are courage and wisdom. The courage to move forward in the face of our fears, knowing them, acknowledging them, and choosing still to go on, to move forward. And the wisdom that is innate within us. That we can always tap into through our own inner listening. Taking a moment to honor these qualities within us. And we'll gather some water chi to our palms, dipping our hands into that ocean, pushing the hands forward at chest height. Feeling that water saturate your hands, run down your fingers, palms, infusing them with the powerful chi of the ocean. And we'll sink down a little deeper, crossing the hands. Still paying close attention to your hands. And pausing with a ball of chi formed overhead. We'll rub the hands together, gathering all that good water chi, concentrating it, and we'll bring it to the kidneys. And rubbing the hands together again. Bring it to the middle dantian, the heart center. And one last time. Back to the lower dantian. Rooting ourselves back into this energy center, the center of our whole being. can return to this space for grounding, for calming, for centering at any point. Thank you so much for practicing with me. Stay warm. Have a wonderful week.